Mega Pokemon are so cool, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad that they're not making them anymore because I think Game Freak was in a dark place back in Gen 6. Anyway, I'm Sabrina and you're watching Saffron City TV. Not long ago, I made a top 10 video about my favorite Pokemon of all time. If you haven't seen it and you'd like to check it out, it'll be in the description below, plus it'll be at the top of the screen as well. In that video, I mentioned Gardevoir and her Mega Evolution. Now, y'all left me plenty of comments on that video saying that you guys would like me to make a video about my top 10 favorite Mega Evolutions. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get started by talking about what Mega Pokemon are real quick. Mega Evolution was introduced back in Gen 6 with the release of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. That was back in 2013, which was basically a decade ago. That's crazy that 2013 was that long ago. I feel old. Anyway, even more Mega Pokemon had their debut in the subsequent release of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire shortly after. Mega evolved Pokemon have a different appearance from their regular forms, and actually some Pokemon have Megas that have two different forms. Megas also had increased stats and often new abilities as well. But you could only use one Mega Pokemon per battle, so you would also kind of have to switch up your battle strategy as well. Mega Evolution requires first and foremost a Pokemon that has the ability to Mega Evolve, a Mega Bracelet or a Mega Ring, which are given to you in the games, and then you'll have to find a Mega Stone that pairs with the Pokemon in question in order for it to Mega Evolve. Mega Evolution only occurs during battle, so once the battle is over, your Mega Pokemon ends up devolving back into its original form. Also, Mega Evolution is pretty freaking crazy. The dex entries of Mega Evolved Pokemon are like really freaking wild. Often really sad and sometimes just downright disturbing. Some Pokemon even experience severe pain and unbearable suffering due to the forces of Mega Evolution. And it kind of makes me feel bad for Mega Evolving my Pokemon all those years ago. So I guess it's kind of a good thing that very few Pokemon have the ability to Mega Evolve. And if you wanted to know what Pokemon have the ability to Mega Evolve, check out the list here. And now that we've gone over what Mega Pokemon are and how Mega Evolution works, let's get on to the top 10 list. Number 10. Mega Charizard Y. This is one of the Pokemon that has two different Mega forms. It's just that its Y form looks way better to me than its X form. This flying and fire type Mega has a sleek and aerodynamic design that fits Charizard perfectly. This Pokemon is also a very versatile battler with its new ability Drought. With this ability, when Mega Charizard Y enters the battlefield, it changes the weather condition to sunny, which means that this Mega Pokemon's fire type moves get a boost, and it has the ability to use heavy hitting coverage moves like Solar Beam as well. Mega Charizard Y is a beast when it comes to battling. Plus, it has an awesome design, and that's why Mega Charizard Y deserves the number 10 spot on my list. Number 9. Mega Mewtwo Y. I think this Pokemon looks so cool. This Y form also looks way better than its X form. This looks more like a natural progression between Mewtwo, the Pokemon genetically created by human beings, and Mew, the Pokemon from which its genetic information was derived. But they decided not to give it a conscience, I guess, since it doesn't really have the ability to feel compassion. That's kinda crazy. Like, they literally created something evil on purpose. Wait, if that's the case, why didn't they just make it the dark type? Still, I think that Mega Mewtwo Y is a super cool Pokemon, which is why it's at the number 9 spot on my list. Number 8. Mega Diancie. This Pokemon is downright gorgeous. I feel like Mega Diancie is like really underrated. Like, why are we not talking about how this Pokemon looks like the Princess of Pink Diamonds? According to its dex entry, Diancie's glimmering pink body is one of the loveliest sights to experience in the whole world. And I pretty much agree here. It's a yes from me, dog. You're going to Hollywood. I just think Mega Diancie has an absolutely gorgeous design, and that's why it's at number 8 on my list. Number 7. Mega Absol. This Pokemon is just a badass. Its design is pretty much an angel and a demon combined. What can I say? The edgelords should be pleased. It just looks incredible. And apparently I'm not the only one who thinks that, because according to its Ultra Moon dex entry, it converts the energy from Mega Evolution into an intimidating aura. And faint-hearted people expire from shock at the sight of it. I'm sorry, what? People expire from the shock of just looking at it? Well, maybe they just expire from the aura it produces, but still, that's totally normal and not scary at all. The person who designed this Pokemon must have nerves of Steelix. See what I did? Anyway, Mega Absol is such a badass that it has to be at the number 7 spot on my list. Number 6. Mega Gyarados. Ooh, this thing is a monster. According to its dex entries, it is brutally vicious and enormously destructive, and was used to destroy entire cities in ancient times. And apparently, Mega Evolution also affects its brain and has left no other function except its destructive instinct to burn everything to cinders. What the fuck? I don't know. Maybe Mega Evolving Gyarados isn't such a good idea. But the fact that its typing changed to Water and Dark is pretty cool. And it truly looks terrifying. But nah, in a good way. Could you imagine like being out on the ocean in a little sailboat and you see this thing spin, glide across the water? Yeah, that's something people write horror novels about. But Mega Gyarados is so cool that it had to be at number 6 on my list. Are you enjoying the list so far? If so, why not go ahead and take a second to tap the like button? And while you're there, why not tap the subscribe button too? Your likes, comments, and a free, I'll say it again, free subscription to my channel, it really goes a long way. And it helps me build my teeny tiny little baby channel. Plus, subscribing helps you to not scroll all day like I do, as my new videos will show up on your home feed and now you have something funky and fresh and new to watch. Doesn't that sound just peachy? Anyway, back to the list. Number 5. Mega Aggron. What an incredible design. I've loved Aggron ever since I was a kid, and I really love its Mega form. It looks like you could just climb up onto its back and scale a mountain with it. I love this chonky boy. And I love the fact that its typing changed to just Steel, which makes it defensively better than its normal form. However, this Pokemon is not way too competitively viable due to its devastatingly low special defense stat of only 80. Now, you might be thinking, oh, that's not that bad, but this is its Mega form. It should be stronger than this. However, it does have a massive base 230 defense stat, which is amazing, so you kinda couldn't punch this thing without turning your arm bones into jelly. But honestly, you wouldn't need to. You could literally totally obliterate this Pokemon by like just lighting a small match. I love Mega Aggron, I only wish it had better stats. But because this Pokemon is so dang awesome, I had to put it at number 5 on my list. Number 4. Mega Venusaur. Wow, that kind of rhymed, didn't it? I didn't even mean to do that. I already loved all of Bulbasaur's entire evolutionary line, so giving it a Mega form was a good idea to me. And this thing is like virtually indestructible. Back in the days of X and Y, I tried my hand at competitive battling, and I used a Mega Venusaur on my team. I actually didn't rely way too much on Mega Venusaur, considering that I actually had a Mega Gengar on my team, and we're gonna get there later. Don't you worry, honey, I gotcha. We'll talk about it. But when I did use Mega Venusaur, it was the tank of the team. That thing was an absolute beast. Since I absolutely love this Pokemon's design and I had such a blast playing with it on my competitive X team, Mega Venusaur is sticking around at number 4. Number 3. Mega Gardevoir, the queen to rule all queens. What an absolutely stunning Pokemon. I absolutely love the fact that they gave this Pokemon a whole ass gown. She is so beautiful, and I had a lot of fun using her on my regular X playthrough team, and I also used her in Alpha Sapphire as well. I mean, in Pokemon X, she was the leader of the team. And Mega Gardevoir is such a good battler. She is elegant, she is regal, and she will destroy your livelihood as a Pokemon trainer too. I shall bend the knee to the psychic fairy queen. I don't know what more to say other than this Pokemon is amazing, and I have so many wonderful memories with it. So Mega Gardevoir stays at her throne at number 3 on my list. Number 2. Mega Rayquaza! You've heard me say it in other videos, and I'm gonna say it again here. I don't need to give much explanation on this one because you know exactly why Mega Rayquaza is on my top 10 list. Seriously though, this Pokemon had to battle for the number 1 spot, and it seriously almost won. And thank God it didn't come down to an actual battle because Mega Rayquaza is absolutely broken. This Pokemon has a base stat total of 780 and has an attack stat and special attack stat of 180. I mean, that's just unfair to other Pokemon. Its signature move, Dragon Ascent, is a flying type move with a base power of 120 and 100% accuracy, which means that if it uses this move, you are screwed. Oh, and guess what else? You don't need a Mega Stone to evolve it. This Pokemon is so badass, and it looks fearsome, magnificent, and absolutely incredible. That's why Mega Rayquaza deserves the number 2 spot on my list, and it almost got the number 1 spot too. Number 1. Mega Gengar! This Pokemon is an absolute juggernaut. I used a Mega Gengar on my competitive X team, and it was the powerhouse hitter of the team. And its dex entries are also pretty spooky. Apparently, when this Pokemon Mega evolves, its relationships become warped. It will try to take the lives of anyone and everyone, and it will even attempt to curse its own trainer. This Pokemon can also move between dimensions to stalk its prey. Its Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee dex entry kind of cracked me up a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It says, it can pass through other dimensions and can appear anywhere. It caused a stir one time when it stuck just one leg out of a wall. I just love Mega Gengar. I'm glad it didn't try to curse or kill me while I was its trainer though. Mega Gengar kind of makes for like a perfect example as to like why Pokemon shouldn't exist in the real world, even if it were possible. This Mega Pokemon is my favorite of all Megas, and that is why it is number 1 on my list. And that's my top 10 Megas list. Oh, but don't click away yet. No, there's more. Honorable mentions. That's right, it's time for some honorable mentions. These Megas almost made the cut, so let's talk about them real quick. Number 5, Mega Houndoom. I just think it looks badass. This hellish doggo looks like it's the pet of an evil sorcerer. Its Ultra Sun dex entry is pretty sad though, stating, its red claws and the tips of its tail are melting from high internal pressures that are painful to Houndoom itself. Great example as to why we should probably outlaw Mega Evolution entirely. I mean, especially if it's causing our faithful companions severe pain. Number 4. Mega Steelix. I've always thought Steelix was a cool Pokemon, but it had a bit of a glow up with its Mega form, having giant crystals jutting out of the sides of its body. And they're harder than diamonds. That's pretty cool. I just think this Mega form looks incredible. Number 3. Mega Mawile. This little shop of horrors Pokemon has a really cool design. Mawile was one of those Pokemon that really needed a Mega Evolution in order to make it better, and I personally think that Mega Mawile does a great job. I do kind of wish that this wasn't its Mega form and was actually just the natural evolution of Mawile, cause its stats are kinda lackluster even after Mega evolving. So I kind of think it would make more sense to just use it normally in a playthrough, but I still really like this Pokemon. Number 2. Mega Salamence. This Mega looks really fearsome, but don't stand too close to it, otherwise you might get a haircut that you weren't expecting. You might also lose a limb that you weren't expecting to lose either. Considering that it flies so fast and its wings are so sharp that it just slices through everything in its path. Honestly, it should probably be illegal to Mega Evolve Salamence. Mega Salamence is cool, but it's like, dang, Game Freak. Chill out on the scary stuff. They must have been going through like their emo phase back in Gen 6. Anyway, it's still a really cool looking Pokemon. And the top honorable mention is Mega Metagross. I won't lie, I do kinda like regular Metagross's form better, but this form is really freaking cool, and I really like it. And its Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Dex entries are really interesting, stating, its intellect surpasses its previous level, resulting in battles so cruel they'll make you want to cover your eyes. Jeez, I thought this was a kid's game. And when it knows it can't win, it digs the claws on its legs into its opponent and starts the countdown to a big explosion. So if this Pokemon can't win with an all-out bloodbath, it'll just trap ya and self-destruct on ya. Mega Metagross may be a sore loser, but its design is a winner. In conclusion, Mega Evolution makes Pokemon look really awesome, but at the same time, these Dex entries make me think that Mega Evolution is kind of evil. It seems like Mega Evolution was only really created in order to cause Pokemon severe pain, or for the Pokemon to cause mass destruction of everything around it. I bet you that whoever found these Mega Stones ended up trading their soul to some red dude with horns and a cape. And then they probably regretted it later and started hiding them all over the region like little Mega Easter eggs. Cause there's a lot of Mega Stones out there, and some of these Mega Evolutions just ain't natural. Which is also odd that everyone around the region, including the professor, is just handing them out like some really messed up Halloween candy. All in all, it's a really cool mechanic, but I'm kind of glad that we're not abusing our Pokemon with it anymore. And that's it! Those are my top 10 favorite Mega Pokemon, plus a couple of honorable mentions in there for you as well. What did you think of my list? Let me know your favorite Mega Evolutions in the comments below. If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to tell me by liking the video, commenting below, and subscribing to the channel. Don't forget, it's totally free. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!